Why does an agent in today's market need RLP University?
Well, Little Oak University is a place where agents who first get into the business initially can learn some of the basics. I mean, a lot of people get into the business, they get their license, and they have a lot of misconceptions. I know people actually think that they come here and we're going to give them someplace to sit and the phone's going to ring and people are going to ask them, can I want to buy a home or I want to list my home.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
You know, these calls come to us. Most people that get into business will spend their time driving buyers around and think that every call, every email, every text is a sale. So just one part of our university is the buyer interview. It's deadly because in the buyer interview, you will learn how to separate looky-loos from real buyers. You'll actually get to the point that the pros get to where you don't get to go in my car. You don't get to meet me at a house unless I know you're 100% qualified and you can do the deal.
It's very important that when you're learning the skill of talking to people, you're learning it in person. This is not a Zoom thing. These are not pre-recorded videos. These are weekly meetings where you're physically in the room with other people being challenged and pressed and taught and trained how to have these conversations. So we've got that on a weekly basis, and it's mandatory. If you're a part of this program, it's expected that you are there, your butt's in a seat every single week, learning the skills.
It's one thing to learn how to deal with all the scenarios we have to deal with in real estate from somebody that's still in the field doing it and somebody that can make a living doing it. You know, a lot of people ask me when I get into the program, do we have goals? And the answer is yes. We have goals that we measure through the program, and partway through the program, we're thinking maybe even halfway through the program, you've got your first listing and maybe you've written your first deal.
Yeah.
You know, you might have even got a second deal. But and during that time, maybe for some people and halfway through the program, they might have even closed the deal.
Sure.
So as a result, they're learning all the steps. And then the second half of the program, they're actually doing this a little bit more regularly, and maybe they've got 2 deals done and several listings processed.
And they have support along the way so that when a question comes up about something that they otherwise would know, it could be something stupid like web forms related, title search related, FinTrack related. Maybe they don't quite know what clause to use in a contract. Maybe they're doing a strata deal and they've never worked with strata contracts before. All of those things we have assistance for in the moment. We have developed this program for 2 groups of people primarily. So brand new agents. Now, you might be brand new to us, but you could also be a brand new agent. Or agents who have already been with us or are coming to us, and they're not brand new, but they're still newer in the industry. And chances are they lacked some support or training in their previous brokerage, and now they're needing some help and making up some ground where they weren't getting it before. So that's the purpose of the university. And how it works is you join our brokerage, you're part of our family. If we identify you as somebody who would benefit from this program, then you're in, no extra cost. It's all included with just being a part of our family. And how long it takes you to complete it, it's variable. Some people might complete the program in, I would say, 5 to 6 months. Others, it might take 12 months, depending on experience and whether or not you catch on to some things right away or not. But it's incredibly in-depth. We want people to graduate from the program, and then we can know that not only are they capable of selling, but they can properly manage a business moving forward. You said if you're talking to somebody, if you're a new agent, you're talking to various brokers, everybody will say they have training, right? Everybody always says that.
And they're telling the truth.
They are telling the truth. But the follow-up question, you said, should be, well, can I have a look at some of the material, right?
Exactly.
And that's really, really important, because it's probably safe to say there's very few brokerages that have gone through the effort we've gone through and with the experience we have in developing the material that we have. So I'm just going to look in here. I'm just going to pull something totally random out. Seller checklist packages, CMA checklist, new listing checklist, amendment checklist, cancellation checklist. The list goes on. We go through, that's just one page that we go through in detail. That's massive.
Part of the reason we have that is because over the years, we ourselves have been top producing people that are carrying a lot of listings. And many of the agents in our office are the same way. They're carrying a lot of listings. You cannot carry a lot of listings unless you have systems to keep every part of it controlled and addressed, every issue, even when you show up. If you got to show up to do a lot of things, you better get all the things you're supposed to get and take and the questions you're supposed to ask done.
Another really important aspect of RLP Little Oak University is you need regular weekly accountability. And our university program, which will take most agents, anywhere between 6 and 12 months to complete, has weekly meetings. They call it Money Mondays, which is more sales-oriented stuff. And then they have Tech Tuesdays, which is pretty obvious, Technology Tuesdays. It is crucial to be gathered regularly for accountability with people who can, teach you, help you, support you in all of those facets.
Well, the thing about accountability is very powerful. What gets measured gets done. And what gets measured grows. If there's no measurement, there's no accountability, there's no goals to hit, how do you get better? I've had people over the years come to me and say, Ray, I've got along so good, pretty good without getting training or being in a program like this. And a lot of times the question of cost comes up. And I say, what does it cost you so far not to have this?
Yeah.
What's it cost you in lost business? What's it cost you? I mean, one of the things that pains a real estate agent is somebody who we did business with, sold a house 2-3 years ago, drives by the house, got another agent sign on it. So what were you not doing administratively, and what were you not doing in your contact management and staying in touch with people that caused you to lose that business? But administrative skills have to go beyond in terms of client contact and staying in touch.
The more people that know, love, and trust you and think of you when it comes to real estate, the more chances you're going to have at success. And for many people, they get into this industry, they're not maybe aware of the fact that the skill of talking to people is the most important skill, one of the most important skills you can learn. And that's something that we key on significantly in this course, is we know that people need to know how to talk to people.
Communication is key. Communication is number one. And learning how to answer questions in the shortest possible way, but communicate the important thing that the buyer or seller needs to hear, makes you look like a pro. Why wouldn't you want to learn that stuff?
Ray, what do you think my home's worth?
That's a great question, Andrew. I get that all the time from people. And I'd like to tell you what your home's worth, but when can I come by and take a look?
So this is a key part of our university program, learning how to talk to people. I asked you a leading question, a common question that you get in the industry, what's my home worth? And tell me about how you answered that. There was a very specific way you answered that.
Well, basically, I want to say, in as nice a way as possible, I don't know. I haven't seen your home yet. Why don't you let me come by and see it? And then when I come by and see it, you're going to ask me again, okay, you've seen it, Ray, what's it worth, right? And then if I come, you're going to ask me that next question.
100%.
And I'm going to say, well, I don't know, because I haven't done the work yet.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you this off the top of my head. I need to go back to my computer, do a little evaluation, compare it to other homes in the neighborhood, and then I can come back and book an appointment.
And what you did with me here subconsciously, because you've done this, your whole life, is that you, without even thinking probably, you chose an answer that was going to drive another meeting and create an opportunity. And this is so critical in not just real estate, but in sales training, understanding how to talk to people, what to say, having the confidence to have those conversations. And this is a crucial part of our university program.
I can tell you some pieces of our program that in 3 words will make you what you would pay for the whole year of the brokerage. So not too long ago, an experienced agent was asked by a seller. This is an experienced agent. The seller said to him, as they were doing the listing, the seller says, well, we've had some people, a company came by and told us that if we ever want to sell, they'd buy it. And so the seller said to the realtor, experienced realtor, can we exclude these people from the listing? And when you're asked a question like that, there is an answer.
Sure.
It's not yes or no.
Right.
The answer is for how long?
Right.
And you never are going to exclude somebody from a listing forever.
Yeah.
But for how long?
Now, if you're listening to this or watching this video and you don't even know what that means, what Ray just said, that's great proof that you need this type of training. Because what Ray just said is very significant and of high value. And when you find yourself in that circumstance one day, you want to know how to answer that question properly. I can't tell you how many times I see a promising, talented agent get into the industry, and they know how to sell, or they've got they've got it in them to know how to sell. But our industry, it's changed a lot, and it's not just about selling. You got to know how to do a lot of other things that are more technical and administrative based. And so you'll see these people get tripped up on things like not understanding technology, not understanding programs they have to learn, not understanding how to get into systems that are actually vital to the operation of their business. So this is cool that we've incorporated a lot of these things into the university. What are some of those things we're doing?
Well, I know for a fact that we still run across agents, even that have been with us for a while, and they haven't adopted some of the new technology. So they struggle with things like the deal can't complete because no office will pay out if they haven't got all the compliance forms done.
Yeah.
So you can't expect a real estate office to pay if you haven't got your FinTrack filled out, or if you haven't got your DORT filled out, all the things that the compliance people want us to have in the file. You know, that's as easy as opening an app on your phone and touching a few buttons after you insert the client's email, and it's all going to come back to you done.
But it's a lot easier when you've got someone dedicated to showing you how to do it. So whether it's web forms, learning how to properly utilize Paragon, like the board offers courses, but oftentimes, you go to your course, you spend an hour, 2 hours, or you come back, and it's not the same as having someone with you on a weekly basis saying, this is how you can do this. This is how you can troubleshoot this. Title searches. Nobody that I've ever known who hasn't been in real estate before understands a darn thing about title searches. We will show you how to get a title search, how to properly review a title search, what to look for on a title search. These things are the types of things that I think they trip great salespeople up, and we're going to help people manage that.
Well, it's not so much that it trips them up, but when they're learning it, when they go to the course of the board, they're in a sterile environment. Right. They're not sitting in front of a live person that needs to have that work done. So we learn all the stuff the board tells us and we think we have in our head, and all of a sudden about a week or 2 weeks later, we have to do something that requires that information, but we don't have anybody handy to kind of say, how do you do that again?
Well, and that's why we see our university program as something that stretches out minimum 6 months, maybe even longer. Because you and I can be taught something today, but it's not until you're in a live deal that you're actually going to retain that information. So you learn it once, then you get into a deal. You need to go ahead and do some of those things, and then you got someone there helping you, coaching you through it, and now you've learned it because you've done it in a live deal.
If you've made it this far in the video, you haven't left us yet. And you still have a few questions. I mean, just give me a shout or give Andrew a shout, and we'll buy the coffee, and there's no obligation. We'll have a meeting and answer any other questions yet.
We'll go from there. Hope to hear from you.